Welcome to the Koso Konnections podcast, where the ancient art of Japanese fermentation science meets modern natural health. Embark with us on a journey of transformation, exploring age-old wellness practices through inspiring discussions, expert advice, and personal stories. Discover how these traditions can revolutionize your health and well-being today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Koso Konnections. I'm your host, Nika Cortez. And of course, I'm here with the one and only ever knowledgeable Dr. Z.
That's what they say, but thank you, Nika. That's really a great introduction.
So today's episode is going to fire you up. We got something super inspiring lined up for you. If you're on a wellness journey or just need that little push to level up, you're in the right place. So we're joined by not one, but two amazing guests who are absolutely crushing in the health and fitness world. First up, we got Mr. Yano. You've probably seen him on screen some of your favorite films, right? But what you may not know is that he's also a beast when it comes to fitness, discipline, and
Yeah.
holistic wellness. Hello, Mr.
Yes.
Yano.
Hello.
And also with him, we've got the amazing Jamie, a certified fitness trainer, a true advocate for mind-body transformation, and someone who's walking the talk when it comes to healing from the inside and out. So this episode is all about strength, transformation, and how Cosmed plays a game-changing role in their wellness journey. So hello, Mr.
Wow. Welcome to our
Thank you.
podcast. Welcome to our podcast. I'm really quite honored to have both of you here. We kind of met by Zoom, maybe, I don't know, about the two ago, and I don't get to see people on Zoom because all I get to see is a little window.
Yeah.
And so meeting people in person, you meet the beast, so to speak, and he is very well fit. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, I mean, this person is well chiseled. And of course, his lovely counterpart as well. And it's been very interesting because, as you know, I speak a lot about health and all the different activities that COSAMED does. But sometimes you meet individuals that are completely different than your line of business. And what I mean by that is that we are alike, we think alike, we do alike, but we have different fields. And so I would really like to give them the opportunity to really give them a real in-depth about what you do in your business, what you do in your business, and feel free to just tell the public, and there's going to be a public here, okay? And it's first come, first serve. So, ladies first.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. You wanted to be on the
Oh,
podcast,
sure, yes.
so here you are.
So my name's Jamie Evangelista. I have been a retail executive for almost 30 years.
Wow.
And now I have become kind of a serial entrepreneur and a health and wellness advocate. I became a certified personal trainer 5 years ago, and I do fascia stretch therapy, which is a really specialized field of practice helping to really heal bodies and tissues. It's an amazing practice. It's been very fulfilling.
Gotta be.
Yeah. And now, we've started a new business working with Koso, and we're now able to really help people on the inside, to what Dr. Z said. So it's such a great complement to some of the businesses that we're already working on, because we really can help people look good, feel good, and live well. So it's really exciting for us.
I mean, very well said.
Yeah, well, a lot was said, Yano.
Yes.
It definitely is.
So first of all, I just want to say thank you for inviting us to your podcast, because this is an amazing experience. Second of all, I'm honored to not only sit with a legend, right, in his own,
In his own mind, right? In his own mind, yeah.
legends, right? Because there's, when I meet somebody, I don't know what their background is. I don't know what their knowledge basis is. So I love to observe and I love to listen. And he speaks my language. And by what I mean by that is how he presents himself, how he exudes the knowledge that he has and the passion that he has for that knowledge, I felt a connection, even though he couldn't see me. So, by the way, my name is Yano and I am a.k.a. Grover Dill from the movie A Christmas Story, and I'm sure all my fans out there know that. But if you don't know that, that's who I am.
So modest, isn't it?
Yeah,
Suddenly modest.
And for those of you out there who have not watched the movie, you gotta see A Christmas Story, because I'm a huge advocate.
I did see this.
You know what I mean, of what the movie represents, and what the movie represents is a family unit, right? And getting together around Christmas time and being in that energy of love with each other, and that's really super important. And that's why I have a big following, is because that essence of love is why we are here with Koso Med. But second of all, it's what drives us to want to help people, right? Is the love to help people. So I am a body transformation expert. Been doing exercise science, human nutrition for 25 years. I have 8 years of teaching experience didactically. I owned my own gym for a while. And then COVID kind of just knocked everything down, right? And I got to start over. So I got a pause button, a restart button, and next chapter of life, right? So Koso Med for me was introduced by Jamie, because
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes.
And I got to tell you that in my experience of supplement companies and the food industry in the United States, I was not really kind of hearing it at first, because it's just another thing, right? In my experience. So
I thought it was the opposite.
No, I had to close him.
So she closed me. And in my experience, I am a researcher, right? So I love to kind of dive deep into the company, their practices, their history, what products they actually produce. And so she's like, go ahead, do your research. Tell me what you find, right? And couple hours later, I was like, babe, I think I found some gold. Like, this is not your average reading or researching, right? So I sent it to my mom. By the way, my mom is 92 years old.
Incredible.
She's doing very well still. But she was a big influence in my life. She graduated in 1956 from Arizona State University.
I didn't know that.
Yep,
So
she's
you
a Sun
are
Devil.
from Arizona. You're a Sun Devil.
He wants to resist the Arizona draw, but it's there. It's there.
So she graduated in 1956 with a master's degree in human nutrition, and her whole life she spent with yoga and living in the higher level of energy, and also passing on health and wellness. So that was my experience as a child. And so when I sent it to her, she was like, son, this looks really good. I want to try some. I was like, whoa, okay.
Your 92-year-old mother. Wow.
Yeah, she was in. And so the two women in my life that I love the most was an advocate for Koso Plus. So, I gave it a shot. And before I even knew it, she had already purchased it.
It was already on the way.
It was already on the way.
On the front porch, waiting.
So, I got to tell you, my first experience of Koso Med, I like to try things raw with water just to see how it mixes, to see how it smells. And, reading the package, I was like, oh, wow, this is all vegetables and fruits. And I can actually read I know what all the ingredients are in this package, right? I was like, okay, this is amazing.
Broccoli, spinach.
Not to mention it's all fermented, right? And of course, fermentation process, and in my experience, is the little products that we can get, it's available to us in the United States, or, creating your own kombucha in your own closet. Right?
Correct.
So the science behind what Koso Med does and what this gentleman has created and developed is beyond anything that I have ever experienced. And so when I put that Koso Med in that jar and I mixed it up with some water and I tasted it, my first experience was, this is really good. There's no nasty aftertaste. Mm-hmm. Children are going to love this. It tastes like chocolate milk, right?
Right.
So that's why I'm sitting in front of you, is because I believe in the product. I believe in the company behind the product, because it all comes from the love of the farm, the love of the plant, the love of Mother Earth, and then transferring that energy from the sun, as we know where it comes from, grows the plants, and we put those plants into our bodies, and it exchanges the love from God. That's how I see it. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Nico, what do you say about this transformation? We've done a lot of podcasts together. We've done the rugby players. We've done all kinds of people. But this is really unusual, because you have two people that come from a very special background, and though I take their great kind words.
Yes, Dr. Z and Mr. Yano and Jamie. I really love your stories, how you went all in to try these products of Consumed. So, and when once you were in, what products did you start with? Was it the Koso Super Drink, the SBS capsules, or maybe something else that you have?
So we started with the Koso Super Drink, Bio 88, and SBS. And we have since tried more products, but that was the start that we had. That was what was recommended, and that was what we started with.
Yeah, and quick story, the Bio 88s, her daughter fell in love with and stole from us, so we had to buy some more. So,
Yeah.
And she's 12.
Wow. You know what I find, and I think we touched upon it. We had dinner last night. We ate at one of the Japanese steakhouses, and again, I don't want to go over the same topic, but it's really incredible that the kids are loving these products.
It really is.
And I
It's
think
so
that
needed.
yeah, and I think we can all agree that the kids need it more than some of us. Yeah.
Well, I've had, my daughter has severely sensitive skin, and she has eczema. She's had it since she was about 3 years old. She constantly complains of stomach pain. Mommy, my tummy hurts. My tummy hurts. And once she started taking SBS and Bio 88, I have not heard her complain about her stomach hurting. So I have since introduced her to the Essence facial gel, and she has completely stolen it from me. I'm going to have to order a new bottle because I don't get to use it anymore. And what helps my heart and what makes me know that these products are really working is for a 12-year-old to come and say, Mommy, where's my Koso? Mommy, where is my new moisturizer you gave me? And that tells me that it really is working and she's feeling better, or else she wouldn't be asking for it.
What was the turning point for you? I mean, obviously you guys are experts in this field, and you probably have tried a variety of things, and I'm sure you've tested it because you're in great shape. You're both fit. But what was it that, I mean,
You want to answer that?
Yeah.
You can tell them
That turning
when we
point for
really
me-
learned about food.
Yeah, that turning point for me was learning that this product is grown in Japan. And so knowing the laws in Japan about agriculture and the outlawing of pesticides, and or also, can I say that word?
No. Can you?
GMOs,
Yeah,
or I
you
should
can.
say Monsanto was
Yeah.
not allowed in the country. That was the biggest attraction for me, because I do know that, and I don't care what any toxicologist says, I don't care what the FDA says, I don't care what studies say about food colorings are safe for humans, yada, yada, yada. I truly believe and understand that what they have been putting into our food supply has been harming people more than doing any good. And this just comes from personal experience, but also from helping others try to transform their lives by eating healthier. And eating healthier in this country is a challenge, because once you learn what food is made up of, where it's grown, how it gets to your plate, you have to make a lot of decisions. And when people are not willing to make those decisions, then it becomes challenging. Those who are willing to make those decisions on finding the highest quality foods, or even start to grow their own foods, then it goes even deeper. Now we're talking about the soil, right? And so the turning point for me was the purity of the food and how fast it actually gets here from Japan.
Well, and one thing, I think our journey on wanting to eat better and to eat well started a little more than 3 years ago, when we did a 4-month detox that was very in depth. We had to eliminate everything out of our diet that was potentially an inflammatory food. And when we first got that list of all of the foods that we were not supposed to eat, it was shocking to really learn what types of food create that resistance response inside of the body. And so we eliminated everything. We did all the research. We learned everything that we needed to learn about ingredients, and we cut everything out of our diet. And we used it as almost a bonding experience because we started having fun finding foods that were healthy, that were pure as we could access and clean. And we could not believe how much better we felt. And so now we're trying to share that with as many people as possible. So when this product came into our lives, we were like,
changer.
wow.
It was a game changer.
Because we don't have to, we can read that ingredient label and we know that everything in there is good and is not going to create those immune responses. So it goes hand in hand with the knowledge that we gained 3 years ago and what we've been trying to share with people since then.
Yeah.
And Nika, it goes, you work out. I know you work out, but it goes hand in hand. And she does. She runs, she jogs, she does all those things, but it goes hand in hand with fitness. Do you have any questions about fitness? Because you've got two of the most leading experts in the United States right here, sitting right next to me. If you have any questions for them, go ahead.
Yes, Yano and Jamie, I've been thinking about this lately because my program at GM is gaining weight, which is I'm not building. I don't want to be bulky, just like what others
Wants to
want.
stay
But
in
I just
good
want to
shape.
be physically fitness, and I just want to gain weight. But is it true that by gaining weight, I can just stay on my weight by not being bulky?
One of the biggest misconceptions that women specifically have is that if I lift heavy weights, I'm going to look like a man. And that is so far from the truth because, for one, most women do not have the hormones available to develop male characteristics as far as muscularity. Also, most women don't eat enough food to be able to build that type of mass. And it is extremely important, and he can get a little bit more into the technical side of it, but it's extremely important for women to put resistance on their bodies. And they're finding a lot of information right now about correlations between quadricep strength and grip strength as far as longevity and mental clarity as people age. And, he can talk a little bit more about the biological side of it. But,
she's 100% correct. And, I in your case, there are different types of body types depending on where you are born and raised in the world, your somatic type, culture, the foods that you eat, the environment that you live in, all these are factors, right? And so when it comes to exercise, just continue to do it. I would not worry about becoming a bodybuilder. That's not your goal, right?
I tell her the same thing.
right.
I know she wants to be, but she's impossible.
Yeah, what I would recommend is experiment with your body because you look very young. And what I mean by experiment is go through cycles of lifting heavier, a little bit more intense, so you can start to feel your muscles get stronger. Because what that's going to do is demand your skeletal system to become stronger. It's going to demand your metabolic system to work harder. It's going to demand your body to use more oxygen and more nutrients, right? It's going to make overall every organ in your body function at a higher rate, which means longevity. Right. So you're laying the foundation to live longer and stronger and always stay flexible. Do your best to continue to stretch and stay flexible as well. That's why she's a stretch therapist, is because when you do exercise a lot, if you don't practice yoga or stretching or hydration or proper nutrients and your mindset, right, or even spirituality also plays a play in it, right? So all of these factors can allow you to live in a healthier body, which means makes everything easier in life, right?
One of my favorite hats says strong is beautiful.
Yeah.
So get strong, Nika. Be strong because it is a really, really great look.
I came up to that question earlier because I've been also using the Koso Super Drink myself, right? And honestly, I can feel such a big difference. It's really been helping me with my energy levels and even gaining strength in a healthy and natural way. That's why it's like my body is finally absorbing what it needs. And I don't feel sluggish or bloated like I used to.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, you see, Nika, this is words of wisdom. And when you have people of this intelligence and this caliber, and for our listeners that are out there and are thinking, well, I don't know, Believe me, I'm sitting next to them, and it's a great honor and a privilege to be next to them. One last question I do have for both of them, because they are experts in the field, is how important protein is for your body and how you choose protein. Of course, our Koso Super Drink is fermented protein, pure soybean, non-GMO, the real stuff. Not the stuff you get in the store. I think it's a great opportunity for you to really elaborate to your fans. And by the way, I don't know how many fans he has. Somebody told me
Last check was like 112,000.
Wow. I mean,
And that's just the ones in the Facebook group.
Yeah, that's not his worldwide group. And I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got all kinds of nicknames. He's a very okay. Go ahead. And then
Today, he's playing the role of the super fun guy.
yeah, I saw that.
Yano, the super fun.
Yeah. So first, I'd like to address the soy thing, because in the United States, there is a stigma around soy. And the reason why, and I'm just going to be blunt, is because it's not soy. All of the soy that we think we are actually getting in the United States has been modified. It's no longer the essence of what a real soybean is. And so this is the reason why a lot of people are either allergic to it, causes issues in their gut, or it's causing other hormonal imbalances, is because the chemicals that are present in there.
That was my experience.
The soy from Japan is pure soy. So, and it's fermented, which it doesn't get any better than that. Like literally, it does not get any better than fermented soy on the planet. And we have the opportunity to actually use it. So,
well, and one of the reasons why protein's so important to you is your body needs building blocks to build your cells, and those building blocks come in the form of amino acids. Amino acids are present in protein, and when your body is looking for amino acids, if you are not consuming them, it's going to go into your tissues and into your muscles to take what it needs. Your body will find it, and your body will consume it.
very smart.
So you have to make sure that you're eating enough protein. And most people, in our experience, most people that don't track protein aren't eating more than maybe 75 grams a day. And our recommendation is that people eat at least 100 grams a day. We try to eat a minimum of 150 grams a day. Right now, I weigh about, 170 pounds. I try to eat 150 grams. And he tries to have 125 be his minimum, up to 170.
Yes.
Because we are trying to maintain a certain physique and we are trying to carry a certain level of muscle. So we have to make sure we're providing that to our bodies. And again, if you're not consuming it, your body's going to find it. One of the reasons you also may not feel sluggish is protein leaves your body satiated longer. You're going to feel fuller longer. So you're not going to do all the snacking. You're not going to eat all the extra carbohydrates, and your body's going to be able to digest and process faster. Another factor could be with the Koso Super Drink, with it being fermented, a lot of that digestion process has almost been pre-done for you.
Exactly.
So it's so
Pre-digested.
It's so pre-digested, and the nutrients are so readily available to your body. The digestion process doesn't take quite so long. I think I saw a statistic that a regular carrot takes like 18 hours to digest, where a fermented carrot takes 4.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the benefit you're getting by taking in such a high quality product.
And you do have to be careful, because your body will devour itself. And people don't know that. I mean, it's a very kind of abrupt way to say things, but when it's lacking certain nutrition, then it's going to be looking for nutrition. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't know that, and they get really scary looking.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be 50 this year.
Wow,
and so
look at you.
thanks.
50, wow.
And I went through my formative years in the 90s. And back then the trend was the heroin chic. It was the super skinny, bones protruding supermodels. And back then, if you weighed over 105 pounds, you were fat. I weighed 130 pounds in high school, and I was the biggest girl in my high school.
Wow.
And there was a lot of self-confidence that I lost in those
Because
years.
of that.
Yeah. And back then, women thought, you needed to eat around 1,000 calories a day to maintain that look. And, when you really start learning about biological sciences, you find that, my body, if I was just to lay down all day long and not move, I need 1,500 calories just to exist. And you have people that are only eating 1,000 calories a day. And, he helped me learn that when we were going through my education process. But it really is frightening how many people don't understand the importance of the proper fuel for your body.
It's like a fire without wood doesn't make any sense. You got to keep burning. And a lot of people like yourselves have figured that out, and you realize that you do have to eat.
Yeah.
You eat moderately. You might eat 6 or 7 times a day, but you need to burn those calories in order to have your body be stable and vital.
Okay. Before we end up, I just want to ask a closing question. Yano, Jamie, now that you felt the benefits firsthand, I'm curious, what would you say to someone who's skeptical or unsure about trying Koso?
All right, good question. Wow.
Very good question. Some people are not ready for change, who are skeptical. I leave them with my personal experience. I will give them information if they would like to research on their own, which is what I did. But I will nurture them to the point to figure out what is their actual concern about why are they are not trying this product that I am very satisfied with, that I feel that need to be a part of their life. And so I will nurture them for as long as I need to until they make that decision. Those who I say this is a product that you need and they're like, yes, give it to me, that's an easier sell, right? But for those who are skeptical, you just have to give them love, a lot of love, and continuous to give them love and information until they feel like they're ready to try it. And sometimes we might even sneak a sample to them, you know what I mean, and give it to them and not even really even know, you know what I mean. So just little ways that we can get it into their bodies so they can start to feel it.
Yeah, well, I feel so fantastic about the product, how it's making me feel physically. It's helping me sleep. We already talked about the benefits to my daughter, which, when you're talking to a parent that has children that may have skin issues or digestive issues, when they have hope that there may be something that can really impact somebody that they love so much in a positive way, it makes it a little bit easier to get over that skepticism. So I love sharing all of the success stories that I'm getting from my friends and from my colleagues that are involved in consuming these products. And that's the best way that I can try to overcome that skepticism is by sharing real world examples and, in the hopes that they have enough trust in me and trust in my expertise that they'll go ahead and move forward.
On one last note, Nika, and then I'll let you close it all up. For all of our listeners out there, I would really suggest that you follow these two and learn from them. In my journey, and it's been several decades, I've met a lot of people, and sometimes you meet people that not only have the certain information available within themselves, but spiritually, they're very well balanced. I believe that you can learn from these people and this couple. I shouldn't even say, but I should, because these days you have to be careful how you say.
We kind of come in a duo. You get one, you get the other. It's,
but I would strongly recommend that if you have questions or you need support, or I always say if you need the love, contact them. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to share their wisdom and their experiences, and you can see they're glowing, and that's the Koso glow, and that's what we love to see. On that note, we're going to have to say goodbye, and unfortunately, those are always the tears that we have to wipe away.
So huge thank you to our amazing guests, Yano and Jamie. Thank you both for sharing your powerful journeys with us, your passion for wellness, and how Kosumed has made a real difference in your lives. So to everyone tuning in, thank you for being part of this conversation. We hope today's episode inspired you to take that next step toward your own transformation. And if you're curious about Koso Super Drink or any of the Kosomed products we mentioned, check out our show notes. We've got all the details that there so you can explore and get started too. So until next time, take care of your body, protect your biome, and remember, transformation starts from the inside out. So stay strong, stay motivated, and stay connected. See you on the next Costa Connections.
Bye, Nika. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Goodbye.